Hello friends, welcome to our very own channel Ammu&You, where I am Ammu, and today I have a very interesting story written by Sudha Murty. The story of Agastya and the birth of river Kaveri. River Kaveri is a river that flows in south of India. And how was this river born? That is what this story is going to tell us. So the story of Agastya, the birth of river Kaveri. Several great sages have existed in our country's history. 7 of them are considered to be of the highest stature and are collectively known as the Saptarishis. One of these special sages was Agastya, who continues to be respected today for his immense Vedic knowledge. He had the power to transport himself anywhere through land, water, and air. During the time of Agastya, the noble king of the land of Vidarbha and his wife approached the sage for the blessing of a child. They were desperate. Agastya used his yogic powers and combined the elegant features of animals and flowers and created the blessing of a beautiful baby girl. He blessed the girl with the eyes of a deer and the fragrance of the champa flower. He then blessed the king and his wife too. In due course, a daughter was born to the couple and she was named Lopamudra. Lopamudra grew up to be a striking and intelligent maiden. When she came to be of marriageable age, the king approached Agastya again and asked him, "O sacred sage, I wish to get my daughter married. Do you know anyone who can match my daughter's beauty and wisdom?" Through all these years, Agastya had remained unmarried. He was happy to be so, but he gave in and agreed to get married upon the insistence of his ancestors who had wanted him to continue the lineage. So when he heard the king's worry, Agastya smiled and said, "Well, what about me then, dear king? I will be equal to her in intelligence, won't I? I can marry Lopamudra. I have received guidance from my ancestors to marry her." The king was unprepared for this. "How can I marry off my princess to him?" he thought. "Lopamudra is young and gorgeous, and the sage is middle-aged. They are not compatible." However, the king was afraid to refuse the sage's request. Moreover, such an age gap between husband and wife was common practice in the old days. So he politely took the sage's leave and came back to the palace. There he told his family about what had happened. To his surprise, Lopamudra said, "Father, please don't worry. I am ready to marry the sage without a second thought." Despite his daughter's assent, the king was reluctant. Lopamudra, however, was intent on getting married to the sage, and in the end the king had to give in. His daughter and Agastya were wed. After the wedding, Agastya said to his wife, "Princess Lopamudra, now that you are an ascetic's wife, you must leave the palace and its luxuries behind and come with me to live in the forest." Lopamudra agreed. To her surprise, the sage transformed himself into a handsome young boy using his yogic powers. He also created a palace for her in the middle of the forest. The couple led a happy and peaceful life there. Lopamudra wrote many Sanskrit verses and spread the sacred text of Lalita Sahasranama far and wide. This holy text contains 1,000 names of the goddess Lalita, a form of Parvati and a popularly worshipped in South India. Together they travelled to the south of India, where the Vindhya mountains were growing at a fast pace. As the couple passed the mountain range, the Vindhya bowed his head in reverence to Agastya. Sage Agastya said out loud, "O Vindhya, I am pleased with your humility. I request you to stay this till I come back." After the couple had crossed the mountain range, Lopamudra asked her husband, "Why did you tell Vindhya to continue to bow his head?" The sage smiled. Vindhya was growing too fast. my beloved, and its peak would have soon reached the clouds. If that happens, people will find it very challenging to cross the range. So I told him to stay in the same position so that he may not grow further. But after we pass the range on our way back, he will continue to grow, commented Lopamudra, slightly puzzled. We may consider not going back, dear wife. What do you think about settling in the south? Asked Agastya. Lopamudra smiled and nodded. And that's how it came to be that the Vindhya mountains appear as if they are bowing and waiting in anticipation for the return of Agastya. The south of this mountain range is usually referred to as South India, and what lies above is known as North India. Soon Agastya and his wife settled down in their new home in a place known as Bhaganamandala in today's Coorg district in the state of Karnataka. By now, Lopamudra had realized that real happiness lay in being of service to others. So she decided that she wanted to help people and figured that the best way to do so was to transform herself into a river. Turning herself into water, she resided in her husband's kamandala, a small water pot that belongs to a sage. Agastya, however, was very attached to her and kept her in the kamandala for a long time, and Lopamudra kept yearning to become a river. One day, Lord Ganesh came in the form of a crow and tilted the kamandal just enough so the water would begin to flow. That day, Lopamudra turned into a river. Now that Agastya had no choice in the matter, he affectionately named her Kaveri. This is how the river Kaveri came into existence. The day this happened is known as Kaveri Tula Sankramana Day. Even today, Lopamudra or Kaveri makes her presence felt in Bhagamandala once a year in the form of a sprouting geyser. The river originates in Karnataka, travels across Tamil Nadu, and eventually joins the Bay of Bengal at Pompunahar. The river is also known as Southern Ganga for giving life and allowing multiple civilizations to flourish. After Lopamudra became free-flowing Kaveri, Agastya began touring the southern parts of India. At the same time, there were two brother Asuras named Vatapi and Ilavala. They performed austere penances and prayed to a learned sage to bless one of them with a son who would be as powerful as Indra. The sage refused. I don't have such strong powers, he said. The two headstrong brothers instantly killed him and foolishly decided to kill other learned sages too. They thought of a devious plan to slay the sages. Whenever Ilavala saw a sage passing by, he would invite him to his hut for a meal. Vatapi, through his special powers, would turn himself into a ripe and delicious mango. After a meal, Ilavala would cut the ripe mango and serve it to the unsuspecting sage, who would eat the mango with delight. Once the sage had finished eating the mango, Ilavala would call out to Vatapi, and he would emerge from the sage's stomach, thus killing him in the process. Both the brothers would become euphoric after the execution of each sage. They had fooled. They were very careful to do this quietly and only performed this trick on one sage at a time. Gradually, the strength of the learned sages in the world reduced. Once people began noticing the missing sages, they approached Agastya to find out what was happening. Through his great yogic powers, Agastya found out the truth and assured the people that he would help. One day he pretended to be an innocent sage passing by and went to Ilavala and Vatapi's hut. As planned, Ilavala spoke to him and invited him to have a meal. The food was tasty and a ripe mango was placed on Agastya's plate after the meal. Now, Sage Agastya quickly ate the mango. When Ilavala went to wash the dirty dishes outside, Agastya caressed his stomach and said, Jirno bhavam, or digest, please. As soon as Ilavala came back, he called out to Vatapi, but his brother did not emerge from the sage's stomach. Ilavala was surprised. When he learned the truth, he knew that his brother was dead. So he surrendered to Agastya, who advised him to repent for his sins. Asura Ilvala asked for a favor. O sage, I know that Vatapi and I have done a lot of irresponsible and harmful deeds. Still, I would like to request that this area be named after my brother. Maybe it will remind the future generations not to behave like us. Agastya agreed, and the area was named Vatapi. Over a period of time, Vatapi turned into Badami, the capital of great Karnataka Empire. If you visit Badami, people might point you to a huge mountain rock where caves are carved out, which is believed to be around the house of Vatapi and Ilvala. Once he had taught the Asuras their lesson, Agastya continued his travels. One day the gods approached Agastya with a problem. Ravan's maternal grandfather Sumali had an elder brother, Malvalam, and a younger brother, Mali. The three brothers were great asuras who frequently fought with the gods. Whenever they needed a break from the battle, they hid in the ocean. The gods, clueless about the asuras' location, could not find them, no matter where they searched. Tired of searching for the disappearing demons, the gods approached Vishnu for a solution, who in turn directed them to the powerful Agastya. Agastya then promised to help. With his extraordinary powers, Agastya drank all the water in the ocean and leaving Yavan, Somali, and Mali vulnerable. Today, Agastya is still one of the most respected sages of India, which is a famous temple in Kerala that preserves his legacy. He is considered to be the father of Indian traditional medicine and had an uncanny ability to predict the future by feeling the pulse of a person through nadi or pure astrology. And he is said to be the founder of Nadi Shastra. Friends, children, we have such a rich heritage. We have sages who were so very knowledgeable, wise, and had extraordinary powers. Let us know about them and be proud of our rich heritage. Let me know how you like the story of the great Agastya Rishi. And thank you for listening to this story. Please like, share, and subscribe with all your friends, whosoever you know, so that our channel Ammu&You reaches far and wide to whosoever it can. I will come back soon again with another story to narrate to you. You can please suggest any particular story that you would like me to narrate. Thank you for all your love and support. Take care. Bye.